Ndiba, my people, wash poppin'. The Igbo Blondie is bringing Pop KASA back to your screens with that perfect blend of entertainment and pop culture. Now today on the show, Burna Boy is on our dissecting table, and I'm pretty sure you're aware of what he's been dragged on Twitter for the longest. Now, another person also getting a fair share of the Twitter drag is BBNaija All-Stars contestant Seyi Awolowo for making the most insensitive statement on live TV. Now, of course, the age today has some violence to go around as well. My guests and I are ready, so let's dive right in. Welcome to Pop KASA. Welcome back to the show, my people. Now, as some of you might already be aware, our dear African giant Burna Boy has been dragged like I passed my neighbor generator on Twitter since Monday after his opinion on Afrobeats was heard in an interview, and we're going to go into that first. Of course, as you know, I'm not doing this alone. I got Nigerian actor and television presenter Patrick Ekuem right in the building with us. How you doing, Patrick?
Really well, thank you. Always happy to be here, Blondie.
Glad you're here. I like the pink on you. You try pink more often. It's nice on you.
People say it looks good on me, so why not?
It does. And I've also got a very gorgeous radio presenter, Melissa the Queen, here with us. Hi, Melissa. How are you? Hi. Giving Queen vibes. I love the Queen vibe.
Thank you.
Gorgeous. Welcome to the show, guys. Now let's get the show on the road. Now, Nigerian music star Damini Ogulu, popularly known as Burna Boy, who has teased and dropped several tracks off his much-anticipated 7th studio album, I Told Them, which is later to be released today, has been on the streets of Twitter, specifically being dragged by Nigerians for a statement he made about the Afrobeats genre in an interview with disc jockey Zane Lowe that was aired via YouTube on Monday. So let's take a quick look at that.
When you start going around the world and you start seeing that, oh, there's actually my that know me a lot better than the people that have shared the same
experience in life.
Not even experience, because half of them, 90% of them have almost no real life experiences that they can understand, which is why you hear most of Nigerian music, or I'll say African music, I don't even know what to say, Afrobeats, as people call it. It's mostly about nothing. Literally nothing. There's no substance to it. Like nobody's talking about anything. It's just a great time. It's an amazing time. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, life is not an amazing time. Do you know what I mean? No matter how nice you want of a time you're having now, or you had at some point, or you plan to have.
Now, of course, Burna Boy did get a whole lot of backlash for this statement. But before we get into Burna Boy in particular, based on the content we see generally in Nigeria or African music, lyrically and the likes, do we agree that most of our music is about nothing and has no substance? I want to let me start with you, Patrick. Do we agree that most of our music is about nothing and has no substance?
Well, without trying to sound like I'm coming for anyone, I feel like saying that it's without substance, that's a bit harsh. I feel like that comes off as a bit harsh. But I'm not going to lie, you're not exactly picking specific deep content out of the type of music that we have going around in the Nigerian space these days. It just is what it is. Most of our music is more for a fun time, have a nice time, dance. There's not really that many songs you will say carry deep meaning.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a thing.
Okay, let me hear from you, Melissa. Would you say that most of our songs do not have substance? They're like very shallow and, on the surface?
Well, I will definitely agree with Patrick here. Most of our songs, let me give it a figure, maybe 50% at least of our songs, do not have substance. But we cannot take the fact that we do have artists who have content, who have substance. I'll give an example. Emily, a lot of people call him Afro Depression King, Afro, all of that. But then, he definitely turns his pain into art, and you can feel it in every part of his song.
Okay, I do get you. Now, Dasuki tweeted, yep, nothing he said is a lie or is even news. 95% of music termed Afrobeats is about jaye, chop life, party, women, dance. He didn't say it's bad. He didn't say it's bad music. It's just music without substance. Now, of course, there are exceptions. Though what he said is fact, Me, I like it when they are dragging him. You people like violence on this internet. That's what I realized at the end of the day. Now, while DJ Zoom tweeted, music is art. Art is life. Life is about different experiences, good vibes and bad vibes. Music cannot always be about experience. It can also be imagination, dreams, etc. Now, that's why it's art. So every nonsense is valid as long as it connects. Now, would you agree more with Dasuki that says, it's 95% of the songs don't make sense? Or DJ Zoom that is saying that music is about the art. It can be, whether it's your dreams or your imaginations and whatnot. Who are you going with, Dasuki or DJ Zoom? Let me start with you, Melissa, on this one.
I'm going to go with DJ Zoom.
Okay.
Because, like he said, art is not every time it's going to mean something.
Okay.
For example, we have Charlie Poppy trending for Avian Day. And a lot of us don't even know what Avian is, but Avian definitely means different things to different people, as he was explained. So art is not always going to be Afro depression, and we are crying, and we're going through something. Sometimes it's just, I want to have fun, I want to relax, I want to party. It's about that too.
Okay, Patrick.
Yeah, the thing is, she said sometimes. The more accurate term to use for this particular situation is that most of the time, the music actually does not carry any kind of actual substance. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, and I don't think in the industry is actually perceived as a bad thing, because anyone moving into the industry now, you're thinking about how you can make a song that will get a lot of replays in the club and on radio, because people are trying to listen to something upbeat that gets them moving.
Yeah.
But if you think rap, you think about certain significance to the music, certain messages attached. If you think country music, if you think different genres of music, if you think Afro pop, you don't exactly bear in mind significant, lyricism.
Okay, I get you. Now, in another response to Burna's point of view, Yum on Twitter wrote, if we exclude the songs that are about women, hit songs for Naija industry as a whole in the last decade fit no past 14. Also, Yami Speaks on Twitter wrote, this is a very interesting take, and honestly, it's not an Afrobeats thing, but life in general is meaningless. We spend our lives distracting ourselves, and some do it better than others. Artists like him have the privilege of having lived a life while doing nothing for a living. If we do agree that the music that this music is that, on the other hand, music does mean different things to different people, so no one can limit it. Now, would you agree that the type of music we get today is as a result of the type of life we have to live today, of which, in Yami's words, in general is meaningless? Let me start with you, Melissa, on this one.
Would you say life is meaningless?
I mean, that's what he said. So it's like music is kind of like transcending what, life is general, and that's why they're singing meaningless music. I'm guessing that's what he's trying to say.
I just feel like the music now, music changed with times.
Yeah.
We're in a very different time. We're in a technological era where everything is about dancing on TikTok and all of that. So definitely, the music is definitely going to reflect that. We are not if we're in the times of Fela, you could understand it. There was oppression, there was a lot of things going on then. So the music had to reflect. So you can't blame them. They're interpreting it the way, they feel like.
Okay, so Patrick, would you say that, music is reflecting, in Yami's words, the fact that, general life is meaningless for him?
First of all, I don't know about Yami, but my life is not meaningless.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
My life is filled with purpose. But I feel like I get what he's saying, because you don't get a lot of songs these days, especially in the Nigerian space anyway, that are reflective of certain social issues or anything like that. And Melissa made a great point. It's a thing in the musical industry. If you listen to musicians these days, it's about how you can get your song to trend on TikTok, how you can get your song to trend on maybe Instagram. You're trying to contact Instagram models to post videos where they're, having a good time listening to your music. So I feel like that changes the trajectory of what you're looking for when you make music.
Yeah. Okay. So lastly, before we go on a quick break, Elenu Bigbe wrote on Twitter, oh Lord, release some African men from the shackles of trying to impress white people. Now, do you think that this is a case of Burna trying to impress white people or the Western audience to be more accepting of him and his sound? This is like in the quickest short seconds you can answer this. Would we say that that's what Burna Boy is doing right now? Let me start with you, Melissa.
I don't think so. I just feel like Burna Boy is always caught at the wrong moment when he's trying to really explain something deeper. Okay. And then people get caught up in the few words that he probably puts wrongly or says in the wrong way, or the way people take offense to. But then if you take your time to listen to that interview, he definitely has some valid points.
Okay, because I mean, some people would say that he probably wants Nigerians to worship him more, appreciate him more, and do the whole,
Well, definitely. I got to see Joey's tweet earlier on today. So yeah, worshiping him. We don't worship Weezy. I'm a super fan of Weezy. Do we worship him?
Okay.
Come on,
Patrick, what would you say that he's doing this to impress the Western audience, or it's just a he theme?
I might have said that if there was no basis to what he was saying, but it's just that tangibly, the reality is Afro pop is not the type of music that you listen to if you're looking for music with deep lyrical significance. It's just the way it is. You guys don't sing about nothing but Jaye. We're not saying it's bad, but it's the fact.
Okay, shots fired.
True.
Okay, I get it. I mean, with the entertainment industry, the buzz definitely has to keep going. We've got our next story right on the other side of this quick break. Do stay with us. Welcome back to the show, my people. Now, while we're still on about people that are being dragged recklessly on the streets of Twitter, for the second half of the show, we will be heading into the Big Brother Naija All-Stars house, where one of the contestants, Seyi Awolowo, has been under severe fire for making a misogynistic statement on live TV. I mean, it's Seyi at the end of the day, but let's take a look. The messages and the things he said have been, debunked by a lot of people. The Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency reacted, condemning his remark. Even Big Brother's Dorothy said she wished she did not save him. So let's just take a quick look at that video first off.
Double shift,
White money. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah,
I get it. My boys, they'll come meet me, say, Daddy, I need the Benz. I'll give them the Benz. I'll give them the key to the guest house. They'll go run train on people's daughter. No, it's funny to you because you think you're tipsy. But
Oh my God. I mean, okay. But of course, Twitter went crazy with a number of people raining fire down his roof, and some others came to his defense asking what was wrong with what he said. So my guess, I mean, we didn't see the full video, but I'm pretty sure a lot of us have seen the full video. What's the first thing that crossed your mind after watching that? I want to start with Patrick, but you know what? Let's do ladies first. Because I want to actually find out what the men them are thinking, but let's do ladies first.
Ladies
Melissa.
first, please.
Okay. Seeing the video, I think I was actually at work when I saw the clip. I was like, what? This guy again? Come on now.
Again. That's the keyword. Again.
He's been doing a lot lately, but that was just extreme.
Okay, Patrick, what's the first thing that came to your mind when you saw that?
I think that it's a mistake that he said that, and I think from both perspectives, even just from the perspective of a father, you want your sons to be responsible. You want your son, like responsible people to the benefit of larger society, to the benefit of the females and the ladies that will be in their life, and to their own benefits as well. It was an irresponsible remark.
Okay, now let's take a quick look at the results of the search run train meaning on Google. Like it reads, to run train or run a train refers to when multiple men have sex with a woman, one after the other, with or without consent. Outside of sex, to run train on something can mean to dominate it, as in a sporting event or video game, or to do something energetically and thoroughly, as in to run train on an exam. According to Urban Dictionary, run train means gang rape, or it's hard to imagine consensual variant gang sex featuring one woman and several men taking turns with the woman. Although he has, been informed of his errors, to which he broke down in tears to apologize. But this is not the first instance in which Seyi has made comments on the show that have been repulsive. Now, some people on Twitter are justifying Seyi's comments, saying it is normal amongst guys. And since there's a guy in the building, I just want to confirm.
What on earth is this?
Is this normal? Is this normal conversation with guys? Because we can see that the guys in this video are laughing and listening to what he has to say. And I know a good number of guys that say that they don't want to have daughters. Is this the reason? First of all, is it a normal conversation? And is this the reason why a lot of guys will say, okay, I don't want to have females, like I don't want to have daughters?
I don't think,
Patrick, yes.
I don't think, I've definitely not been in deep conversation with many guys who have explicitly said that they don't want to have daughters. And if they don't want to have daughters, I would doubt that it's because of this specific reason. However, what I can say is that this is not a line of conversation that dominates many male settings. it's funny because of the nature in which it was said. It's funny because he sounds, ridiculous. It's a funny thing to say because no one actually takes you very, very seriously. It's comical. He has what does he have on his head?
No, but everybody had a bonnet on their head, so I don't think he's trying to be funny. He was actually under the influence of alcohol.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. It's not like he's trying to be funny. It's just what he's saying is ridiculous, and that's what's making me laugh. It's a funny thing to hear someone say, you don't think that they're being serious, but it's a reprehensible comment. I've got to say that.
Okay, I mean, Melissa, do you think he's being funny? Is it funny?
I don't think he's being funny. He was expressing himself. And coming back to what Patrick said, Patrick, I don't know the circle you've been in, but if you grew up here in Nigeria, you know that low-key, we might not talk about it. You know, the men are always excited when the boys are growing up. The women are never really excited when the ladies are growing up because they know the men have the upper hand and they're about to go, like he said, run trains. So these things do happen. I just feel Seyi just didn't pick the right moment to talk about.
So, well, Seyi has apologized and we have a video of that. Let's check that out real quick.
Between Sunday morning, I said some very dark things to a couple of housemates at the time, and I literally just remembered yesterday, and it's something I'm really not proud of. I'm really ashamed of it. I know probably when you guys get outside and you see that clip, you guys too will be disgusted. And I just want to sincerely apologize to every single woman in the house.
I don't know. Personally, do we accept the apology, Melissa? Do we? No, because I feel like if he wasn't told that he did something wrong, would he be apologizing?
I don't think he would apologize if he wasn't told. If he didn't have to do with it.
I feel like probably Patrick feels like maybe they're under attack. We're attacking the men.
I absolutely do not feel, because I have no interest in running trains.
Okay. I hope so. Now, I mean, I hate to play this card, but I do think that we need to extend this same arm out to our ladies, as we also have an ex-contestant, Uriel, who is out of the house and has had more than one interview talking about the privates of some of the men on this same reality show. Now, unfortunately, I do not see this level of backlash on her. So why are the women who are actively calling out Seyi not doing the same for Uriel? I mean, shouldn't we also be held accountable when we go wrong, or is this table only tilted to one direction? At this time, I'm throwing this ball to Melissa. And why are we not extending this same type of energy to the females?
Well, I can't really say. I guess double standards. There are double standards. There are some particular, situations that calls for double standards, and this is, one example.
I don't feel like this is one of them. It's not. I feel like we should have the same energy, maintain the same energy.
Nah, not in Nigeria. Now the women never agree. When it comes to the men hurting us, we rush towards it, to attack and fight. But this time around, I'm surprised. I didn't even see Uriel as that kind of girl.
That we do that.
I was shocked.
Okay, quickly now, Patrick, do you think we should extend the same type of energy?
I think absolutely you should, and I think the reason it doesn't happen is because when men are victimized, their tendency is to keep quiet about it and move on. Okay. And that's why these sorts of things can happen, and no man even pays attention. Most men probably don't even watch the show on which she made those comments. On the other hand, when a man victimizes a woman, which I will, criticize as many times as it happens, but the tendency is that she's more loud and more attention is paid to that because men are more stoic.
I totally get you. I feel like we should all just, we should just be careful, basically. Just do things better. We should do better, basically, every single one of us. And on that note, we will be heading on to the itch right after the break. Keep it locked. Now, thank you for staying with us. At this point, the itch will be taking us to the violence headquarters, as I do not know how else to address this. Let's check this video out first.
Why did you stop me? Why did you stop me? Why did you stop me? Why did you stop me?
In one quick sentence, you guys, I just want to, what is the first thing that's coming to your mind with this scenario? I mean, she's wearing, he said she's wearing a short dress and then he opens slap and she's grabbing him. What's the first thing that's coming to your mind when you see a scenario like this? Let me start with you, Melissa, because it's a lady that you're grabbing.
Wahala, wahala.
Wahala!
That's what comes to mind.
Okay, what about you, Patrick?
Don't slap people. Don't. I take these things, they inspire great irritation within me. Okay. When you abuse power and use that to, if she's dressed indecently to a certain space, walk her out. I don't know, there's got to be some protocol. Don't hit, don't do.
I get you. I mean, I like how, you know, Melissa does go say wahala, 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 and then Patrick is like giving us the whole breakdown, like don't do that because you know proper. What I mean, Melissa's mind, she already grabbed the guy too.
Because I will throw hands.
She'll grab it.
I will throw hands.
Okay, my one sentence will be careful. Not everybody that wear fine clothes is normal outside. Everybody is not really okay. My people, it's about time for us to head on home and enjoy the weekend. Thank you so much to my guests. You guys were absolutely amazing. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you so much, Patrick. I hope you guys had fun on the show. Okay, I'm glad you did. Now, don't forget, my people, to be kinder on the internet. And until I see you next week, Yagazere Guitar. Have a nice day.